Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. I hope you all had a very happy holiday as I had a great Christmas here at home with the family. Got some nice tech gifts that were on my wish list for Christmas, and I hope you guys did as well. If you did get some nice tech gifts for Christmas or holiday you happen to celebrate, let me know down in the comments below what you did get. But one of the gifts that was on my wish list was a new desk mat because my previous one was starting to get just a bit crusty. Even though I was happy with the performance and the looks and all of that, it was just starting to get a bit on with age. So I definitely needed a new one as I tend to be filming my desk quite frequently, reviewing different products, and I just needed a new one. So I ended up landing on one over on Amazon, which was only $15, which is not very typical for some of the really large desk mats out there, like the one that we're looking at here today, which is from a company I had never previously heard of. They are called Amgo. They only have a couple of products over on Amazon, and they all are pretty much mouse pads, at least as far as I could find. They are from China, and as far as I can tell, they're pretty much just buying these mouse pads from an OEM, but most of the big mouse pad manufacturers are doing the same thing as well, getting them from OEMs in China and then just, slapping their brand on it. So this is not really outside of the norm, but like I said, this one's only $15, so I kind of wanted to answer some questions that maybe some people might have about this, as there aren't any other reviews for it over on YouTube. Now, or over on YouTube, we are on YouTube, so it's here, basically. As far as the dimensions are concerned, on the Amgo desk mat, this is one of the tall ones, and it's also a rather thick boy as well. It is certified extra thick. If you look on the Amazon page, it's sure to let you know that it is extra thick, although they did spell it wrong. Everyone knows thick is spelled with 2 C's, not CK. Get it right, Amgo. Get it right in your marketing. It's extra thick.
Extra thick!
For the dimensions, like I said, it is extra thick, so for what that actually means is it's 4 millimeters thick or 0.16 inches, which is nice. I have used some that are a bit thicker than that at 6 millimeters. I've also used ones at 2 millimeters. 4 millimeters is a nice middle ground. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, so it feels premium as far as at least the thickness is concerned. For the other dimensions, it is 900 millimeters wide, so that's 36 inches, and then it is another 16 inches vertically or 400 millimeters. So it's got a decent size. It kind of fit right in with what I wanted for my desk. I could find some other ones out there that were just maybe a little bit more in price, like the Glorious mouse pad. They have a XXL tall, heavy one that is about the same size, but it's 2 inches more vertically, which is more than I wanted. So kind of settled on this one for a couple reasons, mainly the price, but also the size was exactly what I was looking for. And as far as the shortfalls on the price are concerned, there's really not that many. The tracking performance was excellent. I played quite a bit of Rainbow Six Siege last night, as well as PUBG last night and this morning, actually, on both of those games. And I've not had any issues with tracking or accuracy. It felt on par with pretty much any other mouse pad that I've used in the past few years. SteelSeries QCK comes to mind, especially with the finish on this particular mouse pad, which doesn't have a lot of sheen. It really no sheen whatsoever. Zero sheen, if you might want to say. The previous one I had been using, the Cougar, and then before that I had a Tech Syndicate desk mat. Both of those had a little bit of a sheen on the top surface, which didn't detract at all in terms of the performance or really add anything as far as I can tell. This one just has a bit more grip than those, which, as I said, really doesn't really affect me one way or the other. It just kind of has a very standard mousepad feel, nothing outside of the norm from what you would really expect. So no complaints as far as that is concerned. Now, I did mention there are a couple of shortfalls with this mousepad. The one that really stands out to me most is that the edges going around the mousepad are not sewn shut. Most of the other mousepads that you see out there are sewn shut. Some of the bigger brand ones that are more expensive, because some of the XXL ones like this you can find for double the price. Some of them $40 and even upwards from that from some of the big name brand manufacturers. And as far as just performance is concerned, I can't really tell much of a difference, as I've done a fair bit of testing with mouse pads in the past. Most of them tend to track pretty much equally or within the margin of error, so tracking wasn't really a concern. But, you can find some ones that are cheaper, or not cheaper, I should say, but around this price point of $15 to $20 from some of the Chinese OEMs that do have the edges sewn shut, like the Glorious mousepad, as well as the one from Reflex Labs. Those ones are about $5 to $10 more in price for the same exact size as this one right here, or within a couple of inches. So the fact that it doesn't have the sewn edges isn't great, as I do feel that over time it could lead to the top layer starting to peel from some of the more trafficked areas, like where your mouse hand sits, or for the keyboard for when you're typing. It's, not something I'll be able to tell right away if it's a guaranteed thing that it's going to happen. But typically the mouse pads that you see out there that have the sewn edges, it's done for a reason. It's to avoid any sort of fraying from the rubber, and with the way that this one is made, I do feel that that could possibly happen over time. Another thing that is maybe not necessarily a drawback, but it hasn't completely flattened out yet after 24 hours. I did put it under a pretty heavy laptop last night, and on the right side of the mouse pad, it is still curling up on my desk, I should say. It's not sitting completely flat all the way in the corner. The other side of it on the left is not having this issue. It seems to be pretty much all allocated on the right side of the mouse pad. It just hasn't flattened out yet, but that should be something that kind of fixes itself over time, and I will be sure to put some heavy books or maybe a ream of paper on it over the next couple of nights, and hopefully it will sort of even out, as most mouse mats of this size, or pretty much any of them that come curled up in a box, tend to do. They are pretty much all wrapped up like that nowadays, so it's just kind of one of the pitfalls of that in general, is that you kind of got to wait for it to flatten out, but I'm confident that that will happen over the next couple of days or so. But outside of those two issues, the fact that it hasn't flattened out yet and that the edges are not sewn shut, I really can't find too much to complain about this mousepad because of the price. If this was like a $40 or a $50 desk mat of this size and the edges weren't sewn shut and things like that, then yes, I would have a lot to complain about. But for $15, I really don't feel like you can go that wrong with this mousepad. As I said, there are a couple other options out there, like the Glorious mousepads. Those are quite good, and you've also got the ones from Reflex Labs, which are very well reviewed. They have over 2,000 reviews and a solid 5 stars on Amazon, so chances are they are doing something right over at Reflex Labs, and maybe I'll get one in the future and compare it here with the Amgo desk mat. If that's something you'd like to see, let me know down in the comments below. But back to, what I was saying was wrong with it. Those are really the only two things, because performance-wise, I have no complaints whatsoever. It tracks very well in games. The feel of the top is very nice. It doesn't feel cheap in any way as far as the top surface is concerned. And the logo is fairly out of the way in the bottom left, and it doesn't really bother me too much. I suppose it could maybe be just a bit smaller and slightly less obtrusive. If that's going to bother you, maybe, maybe this might not be the mouse pad for you. But for me, it's not something that's really going to bother me. And the packaging is just, your standard fare. Comes in a tall box. This one right here, actually. It does have these odd logos going down the side, though. It doesn't have any explanation as to what these mean. And I tried looking at them. I have no idea what many of these... all right, we can kind of maybe figure out some of them. Okay, so we got this one here. It's got a drop of water with a line through it. So I'm guessing that means it's not waterproof. And then you got this one up here that kind of looks like Nickelodeon gack, or some other type of sploogey substance. Not really sure. Maybe it's not spill proof. This is where I'm going with this. So I think it's not waterproof, and it's also not spill proof. However, down here, you've got a raindrop with a shield around it. So maybe it's water resistant, but not waterproof. And then below that, we've got this thing. What is that? It's a black round circle with a bunch of white dots in it. I don't know. Is it an Orbi? This is really where they lose me here. These ones can kind of be figured out. That one, no friggin' clue. And then down here, we've got a hammer inside of a shield. Is this Thor resistant? If Thor is going to come down and try to smash my mouse pad, is it going to stop him? It's Thor's hammer resistant. That's really the only thing I can ascertain from this logo right here, because I don't know what the hell these two things mean. A little bit of text on here to kind of explain those logos would have gone a long way, if I'm being honest, Amgo. So let us know. Yeah, I'm dropping things all over the place. Amgo, if you see this video, what the hell do those mean? Or if you can tell me in the comments what those mean, I'd really like to know, because I'm just curious as all hell. And then logo, by the way, really looks like this thing is straight from Target, if I'm being honest. It's definitely made by Target, or possibly HBO, I don't know. It's AMG, not AMD, and then Target. So definitely a nice Target logo on there if you happen to be a fan of Target. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Let me know what you think about the Amgo mousepad down in the comments below. As I said, for $15, I can't really complain too much about this mousepad because of the sheer size of it. And some of the other ones out there from the more name brand companies, you're looking at spending $30, $40 and upwards for a very big size like this. So for that reason, I don't really have any major complaints about it at the price. If I was spending more, then, I'd be a little bit more upset about the fact that the edges aren't sewn on this thing, and I am confident that it will flatten out probably over the next couple of days or so. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below if you want a link to where you can pick up the Amgo mousepad. They also do have an extended one, which is not as tall as this one. Like I said, it's 16 inches tall, so you got to make sure you got enough space on your desk for this thing. But if you just want one of the really long, wide, extended ones that doesn't have as much vertical height, then you can get that one as well. I'll link to both actually down in the description on Amazon if you want to pick any of them up. The other one I believe is $13.99, so it's only $1 less that you're really saving there to get the small one. So if you really can't fit it on your desk, the really big one, this one that I have here, then you could get the other one certainly. But I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on it down below and subscribe if you're not already. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.